It all started with Haval and some people did not catch the Holy Spirit. Then Cherry came with more fire and people were like, yeah, no, it's just Chinese cars, they won't last, wara, because Chinese brands are not reliable. Well, they already changed it. The Chinese brands you're underestimating are slowly taking over the market. Kamo Suzuki is doing the most. Grandship, as South Africans, we have to come together and thank all the Asian car brands for saving us from the Europeans with their endless list of optional extras. Sunroof 14,000 rands, alloy wheels 7,000 rands, leather seats 10,000 rands, camera and PDC 8,000 rands. You? Meg, Smashon. Most of the Chinese newcomers are proving to be reliable so far, and guess which brand is giving consumers a hard time? Well, you guessed right, so there's no need for me to tell you it's VW. Software issues, suspension noises, squeaky brakes, start-stop system malfunction, aircon problems, the list is endless. And when you go to the dealership to report some of the problems, you know what they say? It's your fault. But Asiko Lab, welcome to another video. Today we're checking out the BAIC Beijin X55, X55, X55 or whatever it's called. I don't know if it's just me, but this car has some design elements of the Kia EV6. I can't really pinpoint the similarities, but this Beijing EV6 nyana so. But then we all know our friends from the Asian continent are replicates, if that's even a word. They can make a Hennessy that's not really Hennessy, an iPhone that's not really an iPhone, Gucci that's not really Gucci. You know the vibes. The only thing they can't do is a GTI that's not really a GTI, but that's Pumela because this car looks really nice. When I first saw a picture of this car, I was convinced it was an electric car, but then I later learned that it's just an ICE car. The Beijing X55 is more powerful and comes with more features as standard compared to the VW Taigo, but it is cheaper than the Taigo. You get the top of the range Beijing X55 with all the bells and whistles for only just 455,000 rands. With that money, you can only get the entry-level model Taigo. All I'm going to say is things are about to get interesting. In front, all the models come with stylish LED headlamps as standard. This is an ICE vehicle, but even a 5-year-old can tell that this car looks like an EV. The design is so futuristic and I love it. You can choose between 3 X55 models. There's the entry-level Dynamic, mid-spec Elite and top-of-the-range Premium. With the entry-level model, you get some chromish 18-inch wheels, then the mid-spec and flagship models get 19-inch dark grey wheels, and they all look nice to me. Here you don't pay extra for a black styling package to get black trims and make the wheels dark. I'm just saying. The X55 Elite and Premium come with a panoramic sunroof as standard. You don't pay an extra 14,000 rands. My favorite feature is the pop-out door handles. They somewhat disappear when you don't need them, and that gives the car a clean look. It's nice things. This car is so good, I'm sure Toyota is already contemplating putting a Toyota badge on this thing. Then they will call it an urban rider or something, but you did not hear that from me. For me, the back just looks dull. The front is all sporty and futuristic, but the rear design is ancient. I don't have any cooler box or luggage bags to demonstrate the practicality of the boot, but on paper the boot space is claimed to be 350 liters, and that's about 90 liters smaller than a VW Taigo boot. But then this car has an electric tailgate, and that feature is not available in the Taigo. You can't even add it as an option. Overall, the back is not too bad. I can live with it. An iPhone that's not really an iPhone, Gucci that's not really Gucci. Replicism in it. Machana tlaubulaka phone kong me bra. Mara it's a king. Aritsweda. The seats in the top of the range model look really amazing, Shem, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, it's just artificial leather, but the design is epic. AMG seats in a 400,000 rands compact SUV. These guys mean business. These seats not only look nice, they are heated, ventilated and electrically adjustable. The interesting part is that everything is standard. You don't pay extra for any features. Germans know no boundaries when it comes to extras. They even sell some weird subscription services. They sell you a ridiculously expensive car with remote start, but you have to pay a subscription fee to be able to use the feature. That's just nasty business if you ask me. The dashboard layout is nice, but the only physical buttons here are on the steering wheel, which has some Tesla vibes. Everything else is buried in the infotainment screen. Naso screen sakhona looks like an afterthought. It's just floating nje as if they just mounted an iPad on the dashboard. In normal cars, the hazard lights button is here, but in the Beijing, it's here on top. Whoever came up with this idea must be banned from making cars, cause I mean, what's next? The start button will be inside the glove box, but otherwise, I'm happy with everything else. When sitting behind my driving position, legroom is not a problem. I'm 1.7 meters tall, by the way. The interior is just nice, and there's a panoramic sunroof as a chair on top. You don't get it in the entry-level model though, but who cares? Some cars don't get a sunroof at all. You also don't get the nice heated and ventilated seats in the mid-spec and entry-level models. They come with grey and black seats, which are not bad. Under the hood, there's a 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol engine across all the models, and the power output is 130 kilowatts and 305 Newton meters of torque. This car is more powerful than a Haval Jolion, because the Jolion only has a power output of 105 kilowatts and 210 Newton meters of torque. The claimed average fuel consumption is 7.2 liters per 100 kilometers. Because the Chinese have so much confidence in their product, this car comes with a 5-year, 150,000 kilometers warranty. Sadly, you have to pay extra for a service plan. It doesn't come standard. But that's the new normal. All cars will eventually come with no service plan. The sweet spot in the X55 range is the mid-spec Elite, and it only costs 425,000 rands. I don't normally recommend top-of-the-range models, but I think the top-of-the-range Beijing X55 is worth the money because it only costs 455,000 rands and it comes with everything. If you try to go buy a 1-liter VW Tiger with that money, you can't even get a mid-spec Tiger with no extras. The most interesting part is that in terms of power output, this car competes with the Kia Sportage. The Sportage only has a power output of 132 kilowatts and 265 Newton meters of torque, and it starts from 540,000 rands and goes all the way to 735,000 rands. While here we have 130 kilowatts and 305 Newton meters of torque for less than 500,000 rands. So if you finance the 425,000 rands Beijing X55 for 5 years with no deposit and no balloon payment at an interest rate of 10.5%, and we are now sitting at 10.5% because of the recent repo rate hike, your installment will be around 9,135 rands. For the top of the range model, you would pay 9,780. The difference is just 645 rands. I know some of you are already saying 9,000 rands for a Chinese car? Never. But that's pumming up. For insurance, expect to pay roughly 1,600. And if we assume you'll opt for the 9,135 rands installment, your monthly cost will go to 10,735 rands. If this car chows petrol like other Chinese cars, you'll spend more than 3,000 on petrol per month. And your total monthly car expenses will be above the 13,000 rands mark. And that brings us to the end of this review. Wait, before I end this video, guys, there's no Black Friday on cars. Don't be fooled. If you are not planning on buying a particular car, don't buy it because of a Black Friday special. Because chances are you have not planned for the maintenance of that car. If you've been shopping around for picantos, stick to that. Don't buy a car you can't really afford to live with just because of a Black Friday deal. You'll be stuck with that car for 5 years, and maintenance has no Black Friday. You'll be paying full price for the running cost of the car and you'll cry tears. Buying a car is not all about buying the biggest car you can get with a slim budget. It's more about buying something you can afford to live with. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more car content in Mzansi context.